I feel like we've been taken to the cleaners.
But this Mount Horeb veteran paid to be taken on a World War II historical tour. A News 3 investigation finds answers tonight in Boston, Massachusetts. Fred Doebler and his wife should be packing tonight for their trip to Europe.
Instead, they are waiting to hear from a variety of Massachusetts law enforcement agencies as to whether they will ever see their money again. A News 3 investigative reporter Adam Schreger went to work to try to get their money back. Adam.
Well, Eric and Michelle, their 15-day tour of Europe was set to start tomorrow. They'd called, emailed, and mailed their tour guide out of Boston for details. Any details about the trip they'd paid $6,000 to reserve. Now that tour guide is facing criminal charges with possibly more on the way, and he's on camera, promising to make things right with Fred. 70 years ago, Allied forces conducted the largest seaborne invasion in history. The night before D-Day, thousands of paratroopers dropped behind enemy lines to surprise the Germans.
It wasn't much of a surprise, and they lost a lot of lives.
Fred Doebler so admires the Band of Brothers, the 101st Airborne Division featured in a Steven Spielberg miniseries, that he spent $6,000 as a down payment on a tour to celebrate their history.
The trip was supposed to begin tomorrow.
Doebler booked the trip for he and his wife through the Band of Brothers tours out of Boston. And yet all he's received from its owner, Jake Powers, is an itinerary from last year's trip.
We should have had correspondence that had advised, okay, the trip is coming up. This is what you need to do. We're going to meet, be here, be there. All the reservations and things have been made. We haven't heard anything.
The Air Force veteran filed a complaint with the Massachusetts Attorney General. At least 8 other people have as well.
It's kind of a sting, that he would dupe a veteran.
Since Jake Powers wouldn't return Fred's calls, we asked the CBS affiliate in Boston to visit his house.
We're in the process of selling our business to a competitor. We should have that finalized in the next week or so, and they will, in fact, all be fully compensated.
Powers says health problems from this summer are preventing him from making good on his tours, but that he will make good on what he's already been paid.
I owe these folks. It's my responsibility, and they'll be taken care of.
Sounds good. I don't know. We'll feel better when we see the check in the mail.
Forgive Fred Doebler if he's skeptical. This isn't just about the money to him. It's about paying respect to the Band of Brothers.
This was probably the one thing on my bucket list that I wanted to do.
Powers faces one charge of larceny, and a local police chief there told us the investigation is continuing. Meanwhile, Fred Doebler and his wife, they had already set aside the time for a vacation. They plan now to see the fall colors in the Northeast instead of in Normandy.
Well, trying to make the best of a difficult situation there. Adam Schreger with that investigative report. Adam, thank you.
Thank you.